So the Mariners finally made a move.
Finally!
After months of not making moves, and they only literally had 4 transactions. So the Mariners went out and signed Donovan Solano away from the San Diego Padres. And boy, a couple things before I express my thoughts. Well, first off, I had a podcast with Steve earlier this morning. And because of the Donovan Solano move, it kind of ruined my video. But if you still support my channel and would like to support that video, because I ain't getting views on that one because that video is pretty much dead, here is an opportunity to take a look at that video. And thank you very much. And now, a word from our sponsor, from guess what? SeatGeek is a mobile ticketing app for sporting events, concerts, and other events. They make the buying experience easier by the app ranking each ticket from 0 to 10 to see if you are getting a good deal, and you can see exactly where you are sitting. I regularly use that app, and I have had nothing but a fantastic experience with SeatGeek. Use my promo code RoofTopSports to get $20 off of your first purchase. Link to the code, app, and website will be in the description, so take advantage, and thank you. And once again, thank you very much for using that promo code RoofTopSports to get your $20 off, especially would be a great opportunity to take advantage as we have the NFL playoffs going on right now. Now let's get right into the video. So, Mariners made finally their big signing, like an actual signing that may or may not make impact. It's not a minor league move anymore, it's a major league move. They got Donovan Solano, who was formerly of the San Diego Padres, and much of the reactions were very up and down. Most people like me were like, wow, is this the Mariners, the best the Mariners can do? And then you also got people like Jay Trident Podcast, my friend, Marine Layer Podcast, Locked On Mariners saying that, yeah, maybe this could be a value move, where to some degree I can agree with that, where it is a good value move as like a depth move by the thing that thing, but that is if he actually works out. Now let's take a look and see what is Donovan Solano. Last season, or shall I say in his entire career, he's a 279 career hitter. And if you really just look at the averages from 2019, because that's when he got regular starts, he was actually a 294 hitter, because keep in mind, from 2012 to 2016, that's when he wasn't exactly as good, especially with a couple stints in Miami. Looks like he had some injury problems. I don't really know because not in the top of my head. But ever since 2019, he's been a 294 hitter, a 353 OBP, and yeah, he does strike out quite a bit at times, especially in 2023, 100 strikeouts in 134 games when he played for Minnesota, previously played for San Diego. In San Diego, he was a 286 hitter, 343 OBP, OPS of 760, and his WRC plus is certainly above the 100. His wins above replacement is not going to really impress you at all. It's like a 1 at most, but I think that is better than Jorge Polanco did. Let's take a look and compare with Jorge Polanco. I know, I can't believe I'm being so level-headed about this, because when the Mariners made a move like this, I literally just lost my you-know-what. His WAR was a 1.3, and going into Colton Wong, remember that guy? Colton Wong, boy, was he a disaster for this team. He was a negative 1.3 WAR, so he was completely useless. Like, he literally caused the Mariners to lose. But you're getting contact out of him. He's not going to be a power hitter. He hits off of fastballs very well and off-speed pitches, breaking balls around the 250s. Let me double check that on the Baseball Savant page. He is around, when he's going up against breaking stuff, he's typically a 243 hitter, so not exactly 250, but notably in his fastballs, goes for 311, off-speed to 310 hitter as of 2024. He is, so he's great for contact, so that means he could complement well, especially if he's going to play first base, maybe second base, and third base. Third base, though, he's not exactly great with fielding. That's the problem. So I really don't think that this should be like the actual move. And looking at the fielding, when he played in 2024, when he played third base, he didn't commit a single error. 993 as a first baseman, but that was in about 32 games of 28 starts. So maybe, but I don't think that you should depend on him. Like, honestly, I don't see him being an everyday player. He's going to be more of a depth player, platooning between Luke Raley, and maybe he'll play some third base duties. Also, maybe platoon with Dylan Moore. This is possibly maybe one of those moves to buy time for Cole Young and maybe Ryan Bliss. Maybe I still expect Ryan Bliss to be on the team, and I really hope that Cole Young gets an opportunity. That's if he does well in spring training, which I really am rooting for him to do. Which I do think that is the player to watch is Cole Young for the spring training. Other things he's good at is T-Mobile Park. He's great for T-Mobile Park. In I guess ballpark factor, that's a thing. T-Mobile Park, they're saying that he does hit pretty well at the T-Mobile. Now let's look at his career and see how well he's been doing at T-Mobile. I can actually look it up by batting splits, believe it or not. I can look it up by stadiums. All right, here is Safeco Field. He's a 379 hitter, batting 455 as a player at Safeco Field. That's what they're calling it. Or T-Mobile Park, shall I say. Yeah, that's the only stat they have. But he does play pretty well. And against the Seattle Mariners, when he was playing against them, granted it was only like 15 to 20 games, he was a 328 hitter. So maybe this could be a good value move. They signed him to a 1-year, $3.5 million contract. Can make up to 4.5 if he hits those incentives. But like in terms of value move, sure, it's a good move. I mean, I might as well just say that's the goods where he may complement. It's really just about making good. It's really just about platooning between Luke Raley and Dylan Moore if they choose to make him a third baseman, which I really hope. I think he should just be a utility player, but that is what Donovan Solano is going to be. Now, the bads that I want to go over this is he's 37 years old. He's not getting any younger, and who knows that maybe this could be the season that it just may not work anymore. It just may not be there. But last season he is known for a guy that hits for contact. Last season he was a 286 hitter, and if he can get anything like 270 or above, I'll more than take it. But he's not going to be the impact player. So that's the downside is you're not going to be done. Like him is not going to make the offseason. Like you got to do a lot more than that. Like if you're just going to go into this 2025 season and thinking that this is the team that you expect to win the American League division, absolutely not. Because look at the Houston Astros. They got Isaac Paredes. They got Christian Walker, so they're still reloading despite the fact that they lost Kyle Tucker when they traded him. And then don't forget the homeless Sacramento A's. They got Luis Severino. They extended Brent Rooker, so they are clearly making moves. So I do expect the A's to do damage. And don't forget Texas. They just had a down year last year. They're injured. They were injured, so you expect them to make some kind of a rebound kind of season. And let's not forget Angels. You never know about them. At least they have maybe some young promising players where that could, I'm not saying it'll get them over the hump, but at least give the Mariners trouble as if they already did last season in embarrassing fashion. Like it was really embarrassing to watch the Angels completely kick the Mariners' butts. But of course, like we just have to hope that this is not the move that the Mariners make for the rest of the offseason. Because if they do, they're going to have a very difficult time competing for the American League West. Unless you can see like Cole Young coming up and step up. But they really got to make those moves. Like, I know I've said it in my other podcast that's pretty much just nuked at this point because of the Donovan Solano news. But I would like to see them like at least talk to Alex Bregman. I know that I'm going to criticize the Mariners just for saying, like, if they talk to them and say that they tried and it didn't work out, but at least you got to take the step and, like, talk to the people like Alex Bregman, Pete Alonso, or any other free agent that still may be available, even though they are really not. Because I'm really sick of it. I'm really tired of Mariners ownership just not doing anything. Jerry DiPoto's not doing much. Justin Hollander, not really doing much at all. He's just basically a yes man to Jerry Dipoto. So going forward, like, now don't get me wrong, if this is like the third or fourth move, that's where you rank it. Sure, it's a great move, great value move that can't go wrong with depth. But you still have problems at first base because Luke Raley cannot hit lefties well. And now that you have Solano maybe playing first base, I don't know. Second base, Ryan Bliss, you don't know. You have no idea if that's going to work out. Is Dylan Moore going to work? Can he still play at a level? Shortstop J.P. Crawford, who's only really had one good season in the last few years. Third base, you still have no idea because you're not going to get full time out of Donovan Solano. And even outfield, as much as people love it, Randy Rosarena, very streaky. He strikes out ridiculously. I mean, he caused a double play on Julio Rodriguez against the Yankees. Julio Rodriguez, also a very inconsistent player to be a superstar. And also right field, Victor Robles, can you really trust him knowing that he's had injury problems in the past? Can't really trust that. Cal Raleigh at catcher can only do so much, but he is still a strikeout machine. And we've seen it before. In the 90s, they blew it with one of the most historic and greatest offenses in Major League history. We saw the post-2001 team. They had their opportunities, but ownership didn't want to spend the money. And now we're seeing it again in 2022 and beyond, where Mariners management's also not doing anything about it at all, which I did talk about in the last podcast, and I will provide that link at the end of the show. So, overall, it's still not going to prevent the Mariners from getting an F grade for the offseason. But I don't like Solano being like, if that's going to be the move the Mariners make, would be an embarrassment as a depth move. Again, sure, it can work. But if it's the move that they make and say that, yep, we spent our money, would be an absolute embarrassment. But that's going to do it. I thought I'd put out my quick thoughts. Of course, I had to put this video late because hashtag don't quit your day job. I mean, I only had enough time just to put out a quick YouTube short on it. But now here I am making a video about the move the Mariners made was signing Donovan Solano. Well, that's it. To help further support this channel, which I do thank you for, hit the like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and painfully saying, go Mariners.